Should we understand grace in altruistic or in reciprocal terms? The New Testament word for grace, charis, can also be translated as gift. Grace is, of course, fundamental in theology, but how do we understand such a gift? Gifts are often seen as given for free, and people praise altruism. In part, this view is due to the theological conviction that God's mercy is always utterly undeserved. But not all theologians agree, and in some academic disciplines, there's a different view of giving. The cultural anthropologist Marcel, for example, argues that reciprocal giving, or giving with strings attached, has played a fundamental role in the development of human cultures. And some prominent theological thinkers propose precisely such a view of giving. So, in the theology of giving, the sub-disciplines involved are the doctrine of God and human giving, or if you will, ethics, which is at least in dialogue with cultural anthropology. The puzzle of giving turns into a trilemma, however, when we include the biological study of animal behavior, or ethology. Evolutionary biology, of course, plays a very prominent role in public discourse. Now, the account of God's work as creator needs to be in a meaningful relationship with the gracious character of God. Evolution, however, is stereotypically portrayed as nature red in tooth and claw. This popular view has, of course, undergone significant revision, but selfishness continues to play a very prominent role in evolution. But, of course, there's also reciprocity in evolution. And then again, there's the question whether we may not detect altruistic patterns of giving in evolution. For example, chimpanzees have been observed to adopt young orphans. So the trilemma of selfishness, reciprocity, and altruism is this. If evolution is strongly shaped by selfishness, this implies problems for theologians. Altruism could perhaps be a welcome contrast to seemingly selfish nature, but altruistic giving does not seem to be properly at home in nature and creation. If, however, reciprocity is a prominent theme in evolution and in human societies, then this is again a challenge for those advocating altruism. In tackling this problem, my hypothesis is that a focus on giving in the body of Christ, as described by the Apostle Paul, resolves the tensions between reciprocity and altruism. Those givers who do not seem to make a significant contribution to the community by conventional standards need to be valued especially for their gifts that they bring to the community. To value the dishonorable ones reflects altruism to some extent, because people are asked to honor those especially whom they would otherwise not honor. However, to honor those is not in fact altruism, for the contributions of the disrespected are valuable for real, and they're not just fictional. To honor their gifts is to engage in reciprocity, but, significantly, first, the standards of value must be profoundly transformed. So, in my contribution to this puzzle, I'm prompted by empirical studies to look again at different patterns of giving in theological sources. In dialogue with science, the concept of generalized reciprocity helps subvert a simplistic contrast between altruism and direct reciprocity. Further, when Paul transforms the standards of reciprocal giving, something more creative is going on than simply agreement or disagreement with this one paradigm of giving or the other, or simply agreement or disagreement with evolutionary biology or cultural anthropology.